this idea of sin causing more sin. I think I've talked about this before in some other episodes, but this idea to me is that the more you sin, the more you sin. So it's not it's not like allowing yourself to sin a little bit, because once you sin a little bit, you're gonna want to sin more. It's recently, a couple months ago, I gave up sugar, and I told people, and I gave up Diet Coke too. And it's just sort of the same idea of, I know that once I open the door to eat something that's sugar, or to drink something with sugar, I'm done. I'll lose. And frankly, that's kind of been the case. I haven't been perfect with the sugar. I just had some sugar this last weekend, and it's amazing how sin leads to more sin. I hadn't had sugar for 4 months in a row, and then maybe a month ago or so, I had some sugar, and then I had some more, and then I had some more, and then I went 2 weeks without having it, then I had some more, and then I went 1 week without having it, then some more, and it's like sin just leads to more sin. But I think that idea can also work in the opposite. It's more of an idea of momentum. So as opposed to sinning leading to more sin, it's like, yeah, I was thinking like, man, I've accomplished more this week than I've accomplished in 5 weeks in the past couple months. A couple weeks ago, when I made the first podcast, or last week when I made the podcast, I was like, I've done more this week than I've done in a very long time. And it's because wins stack wins. So the same way that sin leads to sin, winning leads to winning. And I have this idea that in everything you do it to the best of your abilities. Because if you don't, you won't know when to flip that switch, and that switch will get muddied and will get a lot harder to flip. So this idea of, a lot of people treat their job like it's a burden. And you know what? Jobs aren't that much fun. They're not that much fun. Like if I didn't have to work, I wouldn't. But we're called to work, and we're going to work. You're going to have a job. So why not be the best employee at the company? I mean, why not? Like, you're going to be there anyways. You might as well work hard, because then you're going to get home and you're not going to be able to flip that switch back off when you're already the best employee there. Well, then I'm going to get home and I'm going to be the best husband here. And you know what? I'm going to be the best father here. And I'm going to be the best Christian-based Dear Young Man podcaster on the planet. And it's interesting how that mindset of doing the best at everything you do translates. So I've worked out way more since starting this podcast. And I told my wife, I'm like, the reason I want to do this podcast is because it brings me closer to Christ, and it brings me closer to the person I was made to be. I can't worry about the numbers, because it's for a lot more than that. It's for more than just getting clicks. Like, if I wanted to make a video that got 40,000 views, 50,000 views, I can do that. I have a tech channel that I talked about before, Techno Clips. If I wanted to post a video, I could get 50,000 views today. It's not a big deal. But I'm not in it for that. I want more. I want more out of my life than just views. I don't really care about that, because if I did, I wouldn't be here, because every video gets 25 views. And I'm like 3 of them. And I think my wife's at least 1. And I know like 5 other people. So everybody that watches this and listens are personal, deeply personal, and connected people to me. So anyways, I've just been dealing with this winning and stacking wins, and it's so interesting how, like, it doesn't stop. You come home, and like yesterday we got home from this vacation, and you have this decision, you have this choice where you could just continue to stay in vacation mode where you're not doing anything, or you could flip the switch and say, you know what, the day starts again, let's get back to reality. So I got home and I cleaned out our minivan, and it took me an hour or so to get it all cleaned out, get the hair out of it, vacuum, clean it up, dust it, all that stuff. But it's like you stack that win, and more wins begin to stack, and it's unbelievable how many wins can stack. Today, I worked very hard today. I've been like developing a lot of these VBA, Excel, macro tools that a lot of people use at my company, and that I've just created out of thin air that save everybody hours and hours every single day. And like, why do that? And the reason is because I want to win. And I want to continue to stack wins. And I know I can stack wins. All I have to do is try. So I go into work and I try. And then I get off work, and my wife brings my kids home from my mom's house, and we have a great time. We hang out. We have some dinner together, or they eat dinner. I was just hanging out with them. And then I went to go work out. worked out, came back, hung out with them some more. And same thing, like just being a better father. Not on my phone, not doing this, not doing that. Because I've been winning all day. I'm not going to stop winning. Once you start winning, you're not going to stop. Jordan wins 6 titles in 8 years because he's not going to stop. And he took 2 years off. Once you start winning, you start winning. And you realize that you can win. And I think that confidence is one of the key traits that a lot of people are missing these days, is that belief in themselves. And I think a lot of that is a lack of Christianity, because you don't really have to believe in yourself if you believe in Jesus, because you know that he believes in you. I mean, he just said, he as the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. He's not saying like, if you've done these 7 things, he's saying he loves you. Reach out your hand and he will pull you across and pull you back to him. But you have to be able to reach your hand out. And that first reaching out, trying at work, doing this, that is the hardest first step, making that first step. But once you reach your hand out to him, he will yank you towards him, and you can become a better version of yourself through him. So keep that in mind. Sinning leads to more sinning. Jesus says, if your left eye causes you to stumble, cut it out. And I think he's a little tongue in cheek there, but he's being very like, that's how bad it is to sin. Same thing with winning. It's like, if this thing is helping you win, continue to help yourself win. And that thing is normally him.